what are we doing?
Getting the top block.
Okay.
About to put it behind the tire. Make sure it's out enough. So if it rolls back, it'll be able to catch. It won't be able to roll back anymore. Put it out just a little bit so you'll be able to kick it. Now right there. Alright, now we go to the front of the trailer. Check the clearance lights and the ID lights. They're up top. They're amber in color. Should be 5 of them. And they should be securely attached, not cracked or broken. They should work. You have your turn signals on your 4 ways on both sides. They should be clear or amber in color, facing the front, securely attached. Should not be broken or cracked. It should work. You have your high and low beam headlights, both sides, securely attached. They should be clean, not cracked or broken or burnt out. They should work. Okay, now we do.
They should be facing forward.
They don't say that.
Oh, yours don't say that? Okay. Mine did.
Now we're checking up under the hood on the right side. We check the exhaust. And you check back as far as under you can see. All mounting brackets and clamps, they should be in place. Nuts and bolts should be tight. There should be nothing missing or touching any air, electrical, or fuel lines. The coolant level should be full. Coolant lines should not be rubbing on anything. All clamps are tight. There should be no leaks. The water pump is back here. It should be belt driven. All bolts in place and tight, no leaks. The overall view of the engine should have no fuel, oil coolant, or power steering leaks. Now we go over to the left side. And the oil level should be full. The alternator is belt driven. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Electrical wire and connection should be clean and tight, no bare wires. The alternator belt should not be cracked, cut, frayed, no chunks missing, and should be properly aligned, and should not give more than what is that, 20, what is it?
A quarter to a half inch.
A quarter to a half inch. Yep, you're right. Electrical wiring. All connections should be clean and tight. No bare wires showing. Air compressor is gear driven. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. No leaks. Main airline. As far as back as you can see, the connections should be tight, not cut, frayed, or rubbing on anything. Should be no leaks. The frame, as far as back as you can see, the connections are tight, not cut or frayed, not rubbing on anything, and it should be no leaks. Oh no! I'm sorry. The frame should not be bent or broken. It should not have weld on it. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. The spring hanger is right here. Not broken, not has been welded. All nuts and bolts in place. The springs is right here. None missing or broken. They are properly aligned. The U-bolts, not broken. Nuts in place and tight. No indication of movement. Shock is right here. Bolts are tight on top and bottom. Bushing should be good. so it cannot move, should not be bent or broken, doesn't leak. The shackle is back there. Not broken, has not been welded. All bolts are tight and in place. To check the connection on the steering column, you grab it and twist it. All parts, including the steering tire, should wiggle. Okay, the steering column shaft. Oh.
You got it.
Yeah, the shackle. Okay, the steering column shaft. Not bent or broken, not too much movement at the U-joint. The power steering reservoir is right here. Should be full of fluid. The power steering pump is gear driven. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Should be no leaks. Power steering lines. All nuts and bolts. No. Connections are tight, not cut or rubbing on anything, no leaks. The power steering gearbox. All nuts and bolts in place and tight, no leaks. The pitman arm. Secure to gearbox, not bent or broken. The drag link. All connections made with crown nut and cotter key, not bent or broken. Upper and lower steering arm, not bent or broken. Tie rod, it's right there, not bent or broken, nothing twisted around it. Air lines that carry air to brake chamber is right here. Not cut or frayed, rubbing on anything, connections tight on both ends, no leaks. Brake chamber, all nuts and bolts in place and tight, there are no holes, no leaks. Push rod, it's right there. Not bent or broken, attached to slack adjuster with pin and cotter key. Slack adjuster, right there. Not bent or broken. To check adjustment, pull it. And if it moves more than an inch, will need to be adjusted. Okay, the brake shoes, they're inside the tire. Not broken or missing, not soaked in oil or grease. Should be at least a 1/4 inch thick. Brake drum, they're also inside the tire. Not broken, not soaked in oil or grease. Tires, the inside sidewall, no cuts, scrapes, or bulges or tread separation. Top of tire, no uneven wear, at least 4 and 32 inch depth tread depth. Outside sidewall, no cuts, scrapes or bulges or tread separation. The rim, not cracked, bent, or welded on. Bead not coming apart. Lug nuts, it should be 10 of them. They should be tight. No rust streaks coming from them that could indicate looseness. Valve stem is right here. Has a cap on it. No leaks, properly inflated. And you should check with tire gauge. Hub oiler's right there. Should be full of oil. Does not leak. Okay, we're going to the coupling. Airlines. Back of trailer. All connections are tight, not cut or frayed or rubbing on anything. It should have enough slack to make turns. It should have no leaks. Electrical line. It's right here. It's plugged in with the safety catch in place. And at the back of cab in front of trailer, not rubbing on anything, should have enough slack to make turns. Glad hands is right here. It should be fully seated garments, not flat, no pieces missing, no leaks. There should be enough space between the front trailer and back of cab so they will not hit while turning. The apron skid, the apron and the skid is right there. They should be secure to trailer, not damaged, doesn't hang down or interfere with drops and hooks and turns. The gap between trailer and fifth wheel is right here. The fifth wheel should not be broken, well greased, not welded on. The fifth wheel pivot pin is right there. The it should be secure in place. The fifth wheel platform is right here. It should not be bent or broken or welded on. The fifth wheel release handle should be in a locked position. The fifth wheel frame, all nuts and bolts in place and tight, not broken or welded on. It should be enough space between the top of tires and bottom of trailer so they do not rub. Now we're going up under the trailer to look at the fifth wheel locking lever. Around the shank of the kingpin is right here. The kingpin should not be bent or broken. It should be enough space between rear truck and landing so they do not hit while turning. Okay, now we're going to the side of the truck. Door hinge, not broken, properly aligned.
Right over here.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping right here. Sorry.
Are you good?
It's up here. The door hinge should not be should be properly aligned, not broken. Should be two of them. The mirror bracket is right here. Should not be broken. All nuts and bolts and screws in place and tight where attached to door. Marker lights should be amber in color. Should be secure, clean, should work. Mirrors, it's right here. All screws in place and tight where attached to bracket. Driver door glass is right here. It should be clean, not broken. Door latch should open and close. Should work properly. Turn signal and four-way markers, amber in color. Right there. It should be clean, not cracked or broken. Wiring should be good, should work. Fuel cap, it's right here. Should be in place, seal is good, no leaks. Fuel tank should have enough gas, should have enough fuel in it, not damaged or bent, no leaks. Fuel straps should not be broken. All nuts and bolts in place and tight were attached to the frame. Steps, all nuts and bolts in place and tight, not broken, nothing on them to cause a fall. Side door, side box door should be securely closed so it cannot come open. Back of cab should have DOT reflectors. They should not be faded, not coming off. The exhaust is right here. Check this back as far as you can see. All nuts and bolts and clips should be in place and tight. Nothing touching air, electrical line, or fuel lines. There should be no leaks. Okay, the catwalk should have clamps, nuts, and bolts in place and tight. Nothing on them to cause a fall. The drive shaft is right there. Should not be bent or broken. Nothing twisted around it. The frame, not bent or broken, and no welds. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Cross member, right here. Should not be bent or broken. No welds on it. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Airlines, the back of cab. It's right there. It should be plugged in all the way. Oh no, I'm sorry. Airlines of the back of cabs, all connections are tight, not cut, frayed, or rubbing on anything. Have enough slack to make turns. Should be no leaks. Electrical line is right there. Should be plugged in all the way. Safety catch should be in place to hold it. Should be should not have it should not be rubbing on anything, and it should have enough slack to make turns. No bare wires. The glad hinge is right here. Should be fully seated. Garments rubber seal, not too flat, no pieces missing, should be no leaks. Should be enough space between the front trailer and the back of cab so that it will not hit while turning. The apron and the skid plate is right here. Should be secured to trailer frame, not damaged, no holes in it. Doesn't hang down and interfere with turns and drop pull. No gap between the upper and lower fifth wheel. The fifth wheel should be not broken, well greased. The fifth wheel pivot pin is right there. It should be secured in place. The fifth wheel platform is right there also. And it should not be broken or missing. The fifth wheel release handle is right here. And it should be all the way in and in the lock position. The fifth wheel frame, where attached to the truck frame, is right there. And it should not be broken or welded. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Should be enough space between the bottom of the trailer and the top of drive tires right here, so they do not rub. Spring hanger is right here. Should not be broken, not welded on. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. The leaf spring is right there. Not broken or missing, properly aligned. Oh no, that was leaf springs. Oh yeah, that was right. Okay. All right, now we go up under the trailer. And we look at the fifth wheel. The locking lever should be around it in the shank of the kingpin. The kingpin is right there, and it should not be bent or broken. The torque arm is right there. Should not be bent or broken. All nuts and bolts are in place and tight. Bushings should be good so it doesn't move. The rear end bell housing should not leak. The air lines that carry air to brake chamber, the brake chamber is right there. The air lines is right there. Should not have cut, frayed, or rubbing on anything. Connections tight on both ends. Should be no leaks. The brake chamber, nuts and bolts in place and tight where attached, no holes in it. It should have no leaks. The push rod is also up there. It should not be bent or broken. Attach a slack adjuster with pin and cotter key. The slack adjuster is also up there. Should not be bent or broken. To check adjustment, you should pull on it. If it moves more than an inch, then it will need to be adjusted. Okay, now we go back. Oh, no. The turn signal, four-way brake lights, tail lights, and reflectors is right here. It should be red in color, not cracked or broken, securely attached, and also clean. Okay, the airbags is right here. No cut, cracks, or dry rot, no leaks. The airbag mounts, top and bottom, is right there. Not broken, all nuts and bolts in place and tight. Shock absorber is right here. Should not be bent or broken, nuts and bolts in place and tight. Top and bottom bushings should be good so it cannot move and should have no leaks. U-bolts is right there, not broken. Not nuts and bolts and nuts in place and tight on bottom. No indication of movement. The brake shoes right there. Not broken, not soaked in oil or grease, and it should be at least a 1/4 inch thick. Brake drum, not broken, not soaked in oil or grease. The axle seal is right there also. It should not be leaking. The mud flat bracket is right here. Not broken, all nuts and bolts in place and tight where the DOT tape in place. Should not be peeling off or faded. The mud flap is right here. All nuts and bolts in place and tight where attached to bracket, not torn in it, does not touch the ground or the tire. should be enough space between rear truck and landing gear so they do not hit while turning. Tire of the duals. Okay, the sidewall should have no cut, cracks, splits, bubbles, no tread separation. The top of tire should be at least 2/32 in tread depth, no uneven wear between tires. Rims butted against each other, tires does not touch, nothing stuck between them. The rims, bead is not coming apart, should not have cracked or bent, and should not have been welded. Lug nuts, it should be 10 of them, none missing, no rust streaks to indicate looseness. Valve stem is right here. They have caps on them, no leaks. Tires are properly inflated. Okay, section C. Once again, we back at the airlines, the back of trailer and cab. All connections are tight, not cut, frayed, or rubbing on anything. Have enough slack to make turns, no leaks. Electrical line right here, plugged in it all the way to safety catch. It should hold it at the back of cab and front of trailer. Nothing should be rubbing, and it should be enough slack to make turns, no bare wires. Glad hands, fully seated garments. They should not be flat, no pieces missing, no leaks. There should be enough space between the front trailer and the cab so they will not hit while turning. The front of trailer bulkhead, it's not bulged out, no holes in it, should be strong enough to hold the freight. Clearance lights at top of trailer is right there. Should be airborne color, not cracked or broken, and they also should be securely attached. Side of trailer is right here. It should not be bulged out. DOT tape is in place. It should not be faded or peeling off. The apron and the skid plate is right there. Should be securely. It should be secured to the trailer frame and not damaged. No holes in it. Does not hang down or interfere with the drop or hook or turns. Okay, there should be no gaps between upper and lower fifth wheel. The fifth wheel should be not broken, well greased. The pivot pin is right there. It should be secured in place. The fifth wheel platform, nothing broken or missing. The fifth wheel handle release should be all the way in and locked. The fifth wheel frame or attached to truck frame is right there. Should not be broken or welded on. All nuts and bolts should be in place and tight. Should be enough space between bottom of trailer and top of drive tires right here so they do not rub. Now we go up under here again and look at the fifth wheel up under the trailer. We just going through sections. We on section C right now. The locking lever is around the shank of kingpin. The kingpin has not been bent or broken. The electrical lines under the trailer, you check back as far as you can see. They are up and secured, so they do not hang on anything. There should be enough space between rear truck and landing gear right here to make enough turns while while turning. The landing gear should be secure, not broken. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Landing gear rolled all the way up, nothing on pads or the feet. The crank handle is right here. It should be in place and secure and bracket. The floor and cross member is right there. It should have no holes in the floor. All cross member in place, none broken and secure to floor and trailer frame. You check all the way to the back of the trailer. The side marker, lights and reflectors and turn signal. Amber in color, clean, not cracked or broken, securely attached, should work. Go keep on looking at the floor cross member and the electrical lines of the trailer and the DOT tape. The tandem slide is right here. The release handle should be all the way in, locked in position. Keeper pins in place and slide of frame, and frame should not be cracked or broken. The spring hanger is right there. It should not be broken or no welds. The springs is right there. Should not be broken, missing, properly aligned. The U-bolts. Do you see the U-bolts in here? Yeah, come right here. U-bolts is right there, and they should not be broken. Nuts are tight on bottom. No sign of movement. Torque arm. Where's the torque arm?
Right there.
Where? Right here?
Right, yeah, I see that bar running across the back.
Oh yeah, right here. Yep.
Yeah.
The torque arm is right there. Should not be bent or broken. Nuts and bolts are in place and tight. Bushings should be good so it cannot move. Air lines that carry to the air and brake chamber. The air lines that carry to the brake chamber should not be cut, frayed, or rubbing on it, or rubbing anything. Connections should be tight on both ends, no leaks. The brake chamber is right there. Should have no holes, all nuts and bolts in place and tight. Should be no leaks. Push rod is also up there. Should not be bent or broken. Attach the slack adjuster with pin and cotter key. The slack adjuster is also up there. Should not be bent or broken. You should pull on it, and if it moves more than 1 inch, then it would need to be adjusted. Brake shoes.
So we're gonna use this one.
All right, yeah, we're gonna use this one. All right. The brake shoes should not be broken, not soaked in oil or grease. Should have at least a 1/4 inch thick. Should be at least a 1/4 inch thick. Brake drum should not be broken, no oil or grease. The tires, all sidewalls in and out. Should have no cuts, splits, or bubbled. It should have no tread separation. There should be at least 2 32 inch depth, no uneven wear. The between tires, rims butted against each other, nothing should be stuck in between them. The tires should not touch. Alright, the mud flap bracket is right there. It should be securely attached to the trailer, not being broken. The mud flap is also right here. All nuts and bolts in place and tight, where not ripped or torn, doesn't touch the ground. Okay, you're going to continue to check the cross member and electrical lines. Okay, tire on the outside wall, right here. No cuts, splits, or bubble. no tread separation. The rim, the bead should not be coming apart, should not be bent or broken, and no welds. The lug nuts, it should be 10 of them in place, none missing, no rust streaks that indicate looseness. Valve stem is right there. Should have caps and tires properly inflated. You should check with tire gauge. Hub oiler is full, doesn't leak. Rear side marker right here. It should be red in color, securely attached, clean, not cracked or broken, should work. Doors, no holes in them. It should be closed securely. They are locked and safety. They are locked and latched. Safety catch is in place. Door hinges. Hinges in place, not broken, securely attached to door. All nuts and bolts in place and tight. Clearance lights, ID lights, top of trailer. Should be red in color, clean, not cracked or broken, securely attached, should work. DOT bumper. Right there, securely attached, welded, or all nuts and bolts in place and not all nuts and bolts in place and tight. DOT tape should be in place and not peeling off or faded. Okay, tag light is right here. Should be clean, should work. All right, now we go into the cab, right?
Back lights. 4-way flashers.
I already did that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go and get the other latch. He did 3 points of entry into entering the vehicle.
Yes, it did. You cannot turn around.